AKAPADers, welcome to episode 427. We're talking Disney Plus. We're talking hype because people were excited. I think people were more excited for today's conversation. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you ever seen any of those wily, wasky Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, especially Captain America Winter Soldier, you know you were excited when you saw the logo, when Disney does their everyone come to this conference, come to this presentation. We're going to show you a bunch of logos and tell you who's involved, and you can spend the next 8 months of your lives getting excited. And that's really what Disney Plus is doing right now. There's so many different logos between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Star Wars stuff. It's impossible to keep track of these logos, and we constantly hear of projects getting shifted around, canceled, swapped out, dates getting removed, dates getting added. It's madness. And a little bit of this you can probably contribute that Disney does have its pulse on what people are saying, and not only what they're saying, but how they're saying it. And I believe that is a little bit of this check and guess that they're participating in, because we're also like in it with them. And I know it's weird. That's usually not a thing I like saying, but our conversations, our podcasts, our YouTube episodes, who knows, even maybe our private tweets are collected within Disney's giant data bank with their partners, and they figure out what's getting people excited and what's not. And you might say, well, Pete, why did they push through Shang-Chi? Why the stuff with the Eternals? That fair argument. No one seemed excited for those. No one really seemed excited for Captain Marvel. But here's the thing. When we have a dip in excitement, we do get a little bit of this ramp up of the shills, all this Rotten Tomato activity. It's mind-boggling. So what are we to do? How this is no different than the old days where they used to have press secretaries and people minding newspapers, and there would be not talk centers, but there would just be offices throughout the country where people would test screen movies, and the test screening process for movies is legendary. So why not apply the test screening process for movies into active development? And that's really what we see. But everyone, post Captain America Winter Soldier, post Infinity War, everyone wanted this. Now, we really didn't know what we were getting, and what we got, I think, is a leaner movie, or a leaner long form movie than we got with WandaVision. WandaVision, when you first saw that logo, when they first pitched it to you, it was hard to figure out how that was going to be something. And I believe that gut instinct turned out to be true. Falcon and Winter Soldier, we know it's 48 hours or another 48 hours, but it's like Lethal Weapon, buddy comedy. They're making quips, they're going back and forth. People are in danger, but they're not really in danger because these guys are funny. And the chemistry between Falcon and Winter Soldier, Anthony McDaniels and Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan also is one of the most beautiful men ever to be put on screen. He's so freaking beautiful. I just love looking at him. But all of this stuff, and then we have both of these guys getting into the real world. We have blip references, which is Thanos' snap. Whenever the blip comes up, it's completely cringe. Makes no sense. We're in a world where actively we know that there's gods and power beyond comprehension there, and people are running around chasing cars. So this is why when we do things like the Infinity War, we have to build it in that people don't remember. Maybe some choice characters will retain the knowledge, but the world must be maintained. It must be normal. just to move on. Now, we don't get that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe landscape. I think that's a storytelling. That's not even a storytelling. That's a position misstep. But we have the original Captain Marvel showing up here. He's an African American Tuskegee Airman. Really cool stuff. Great. His character, fantastic. We have awesome villains with these flag smashers who are essentially new super soldiers. They're freaking cool. They're unsuspecting. We have U.S. Agent, or the new Captain America, John Walker, who is, to me, is the standout star of this entire. You just want to see him. You just want to know more of him. You kind of like him. You kind of don't, but you understand what he's trying to do. Major misstep of him not being a super soldier when he got the shield, because I don't understand how Anthony Mackie, the Falcon, and all these other characters who are non-superpowered can throw around a vibranium, an adamantium shield the way that they do. Also, using the shield is a little bit of a mental calculation. Okay, Captain America is way smarter than your average bear. Okay, the super serum heightened his intelligence, heightened his perception. So when he bounces that shield around, as he awesomely does when he takes out that Quinjet in Captain America Winter Soldier, there's a level of intelligence at play here. I don't like that they downplayed who can use the shield, because when the Winter Soldier catches the shield in Captain America Winter Soldier on that rooftop scene, that's a jaw-dropping, that is at this point, historic and iconic Marvel Cinematic Universe moment. But we get these ideas, we get this long dissection of who should have the shield and why. If you were given the shield, do you even want it? We bring in conversations of today's landscape that, look, I think it sticks out like a sore thumb. I think it's pandering. I think it's weak. But, does it work in the narrative? Does it work within where the character is? 1,000%. And we have to understand, if Anthony Mackie or the Falcon feels a certain way or lives a certain life, and that doesn't mean he's not living that life when we're first introduced to the character. It just means that we're dealing with serialized entertainment, and 10, 12 years can go by between characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe having moments, having things to say and things to do. And within that time, our culture is going to shift. And when our culture shifts, the people making this product that we consume shifts. So some of it stands out, some of it doesn't. I do like that there's a lot of this show that is just grounded. I love all the Baron Zemo stuff. I love the idea that you just get this feeling that Baron Zemo is always a couple steps ahead of all of them. Really cool stuff. Everything with Wakanda, everything with how Wakanda broke the conditioning. We see a little bit of that with the Winter Soldier. Really cool stuff. Everything with the Baron Zemo messing around with the Winter Soldier, with his secret code words that trigger the Winter Soldier. It's just great. And I would say, of the three shows of Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision, of the three that we've seen so far, Falcon, Winter Soldier, I think, applies the most to what we've seen. It's using characters a certain way that we want to see more of, and it does move a lot of the story forward. And it's not in a major way, which I do like. It's we're dealing with a little bit of a membrane story here. This is what's holding together the muscle between this and that. Now, WandaVision and Loki clearly also have that positioning, but it's way too heavy-handed, because you leave both of those shows wanting to understand what it all means, and we're left holding the bag. This show at least at least freaking ends on the, like, we know what we're doing. We know what's happening. And I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus, her whole spiel in this movie. Agent Carter is fantastic and so cute and hot, and I don't mind it. I don't mind when she's killing all of those guys in the docks. It's freaking awesome. She's stabbing people to death, and she's potentially like this double agent. This idea that there's more super serums out there. Look, I will say this: the super serum should be coveted. The super serum should be only in Captain America. Part of the reason why it worked, it was a biology. The doctor, I always forget his name, but the doctor that gave Steve Rogers the serum knew it would work because he saw something within Steve Rogers that they didn't see in any other of the experiments. They've done nothing but take away why Captain America is special through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also within Marvel Comics. This is a no-go. This is a no-fly. It's interesting when they introduce new concepts that are outliers and they don't exist within why characters are special. You have to maintain characters being special, because when they're special, they're cool, and when they're cool, you can do amazing things with them. On a storytelling sense, just on where you want this character, they write themselves. And right now, it's just like, oh my God, we have a Captain America that's part Iron Man because he only exists with the suit, and he's not super powered, but he's going to wield the shield. So it's just weird. Like, that doesn't quite land. People like it, maybe. I don't know. I don't think anyone really likes the Falcon as Captain America. I think people want Bucky Cap. They want the Winter Soldier as Captain America because there's a built-in redemption arc there. It's clear, it's obvious, and it works. So everyone, AKAPAD's Audio Audacity, episode 428. We're going to do the introduction of Thanks Flicking, and then we're going to jump to the first episode of Thanks Flicking, because I'm still all about Dune, 1984 Dune. We're going to do it. Dune, Flash Gordon. We have, I don't know, the movies I love. We're going to do multiple day drops leading into multiple drop days leading into Thanksgiving, only because every single year I try and do this promotion, it sneaks up on me. So what the hell? I love you, and hit akapad.com. Sign up for a free Wolfpack trading card. I love you, and goodbye.